Alright, so first off, it will be on trial type of leaf. Build up Javeline 144 scale model. It's not a high grade, mind you. It's quite close to that. Build up online part 1. I don't know. Probably there will be more parts, 2, 3 or something like that. I'm not sure because so far internet connection goes quite stable, but that might be changed with interruptions. Various interruptions which not are anyhow afflicted by me. So we have parts. I believe I did a review on unboxing, and I will be now silently probably starting to build this. Blast from the past. Blast from the past, kids. That's a blast from the past. Because models very old. Models. The first release of Javeline was in early 90s. Early 90s. This one is even older probably. Yeah, way older than a Mobile Tone X. Super way older. Let's check out our manual and see what we can do right now. You know what? First we will start with step number 10. Step number 10 requires you to cut off the action base, but not for the actual model. It is for a background. Wait, I cut the model action base. Oh well, it's fine. It's alright, we can do this alongside. First I need either this one or this one. W2, W3. Oh wait, that's W2. Alright, W2. Action base for free inside a very old kit, which is amazing. Truly amazing. Alright, we need more parts. Dropped in and gone. Well, not first time. And we need now V9, I suppose. Yeah, V9, this one. So far everything goes stable enough. I'll try to cut off some excess. So we are basically building an action base for a mobile suit itself, which is quite interesting. Old kits don't comes often with extra action base inside, and neither do a new one, only in some rare special cases like premium Bandai or the ones which are unable to stand on their own. We basically have finished action base. Tight? Yeah, quite tight. Sadly, we don't have anything to put on it yet. But just only yet. A body cap. Now that sounds assuring. So basically, not much you require to get a budget type action base by Bandai in early 90s. But that's not all. And I've built it wrongly, which I fixed. And let's proceed as toward second part. And second part is for actual background. Background. We are building background right now. A lot of clear parts for a vintage model, which is amazing for such price. I believe I bought it back in the day for $4 plus some minor shipping, which is probably now not a $4 but $40. Alright, so yeah, that was simple. You basically snap it together. We have like this one stage. Let me pick up all transistors here, and we are ready to finalize the action base with background. We have this type of postcard information slash something like that, which I will build right now. 6 minutes past. Okay, so we are basically much better. Here we go. Nice. Like that. And I do everything wrong, apparently. And here we go. We have a action base with a background. Neat. I can only say neat about this one. They were by Bandai back in the day, because now Bandai rarely gives you action base for free, and I never saw anything like background for free as well at all. And we have some parts which are apparently are additional extra parts for action base for more dynamic posing of the mobile suit. Additional road, main road, which probably won't be used, but still generously added. We have an action beam saber part. By action, I will show you shortly, because it is bended like an action. Handle is also a clear part, but well, you can't complain when you're getting something for free and you're getting two clear effect parts for a vintage model. So that much is amazing. And we have a straight one. A straight one which is just clear stick. Clear stick, which I prefer more. Of course, action type effect parts are usually common around Robert Damashi things, like an action figures by Bandai Spirits. A different line, but more like toyish type of collectibles. And regular standard ones are usually plastic model kit stuff, content of. So we have a beam saber part, which needs a little bit sanding, which I will add probably later. And we have a nice looking shield effect part. That's right, shield effect part, which somehow, oddly enough, later on the later models were excluded. Bandai was including those in the latest models, but those were only one color plastic pieces, like matte red and etc. No clear parts. Later was signed, and I cracked a little bit. Apart. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. So we finished one gate, which is just a clear skeleton, and we proceed with another approach. The manual shows something about weapons, which I for now will avoid. I'll just drop those, and we start building hand arms. Alright, we need some parts, and those are shoulder parts, I believe. B11. Don't force anything, just take. We need 2 pieces of those. Mostly weapons and feats, mostly. Armaments we won't touch for now, for a moment. Then we need the polycaps, probably. Yeah, those are polycaps. Inner frame is from a soft polycaps, which probably was a thing by then, I presume. So we nicely cutting them off. So not. And we'll see how it will work in practice. Then funny part because Bandai do not shows in the wall manual how to complete arms. Those 2 parts and those 2 parts must be built by our owner, in this case builder like me, manually without any indications. You can see the step 2 doesn't show how you should sandwich those between, which is probably no big deal because, yeah, right, I wish to see how people would collide those between. Anyhow, not a chance. So we using our experience for our convenience and cut all the parts we need or decide to be necessary to be cut off and used in that. And we need to do a little cleanup for those. Let's see, slightly, little by little. Of course I will be gluing those parts later, but still I don't want to damage too much surface or left too much on it. More or less a little bit cut off, no big deal. It's fine, it's okay. It's okay. Alright, so where's the next part? This one. Is there really no difference, I wonder? No, probably not. I hope I do not make any mistakes. We do. Careful cut-offs. Cut-offs. Slightly by blade, moving alongside part. Like that. No rush. Nice and smooth. Not exactly. So basically those 2 parts can be glued all together from very beginning, since manual clearly shows those aren't needed later to separate if you're trying to modify your model. So I can either or glue them right now and make them dry and later work out with a sandpaper all other parts, or I can make preparations for this for later, which part to take? I think I will just glue them right now. I see no problem in that. And of course I will have to probably pin those parts. Let's work on the second one. Set. There's a little bit too much excess, so I can easily cut off with a cutter. Slightly carefully, we are leaving a little bit so we can shave it. Slice it, not shave it. This one is almost perfectly taken off, and this one should be. And second one. So far, I'm quite surprised by the quality of the old model, and also color of plastic. This green type blue is quite nice. Oh, I cut too much. As you can see, the white blemish part. No big deal, no big deal. I mind you, no big deal. Going to work on it. And again, I pointed this small detail that you don't need to separate those later. Parts just attach one on each other. It's primitive O-type joints, but those do work. It just won't be very beautiful. Let's say like that. Let's put this box on the side and get our toxicity. We have two types of cement, both for plastic, suitable for plastic models. SP is more thin type, so you can squeeze it in a small, little gaps easier. And this one is a solid type of glue, which oh, you devil! Should have separated those completely. Oh yeah. Oh well, I think we'll have to squeeze it inside somehow. Well, that's for you a good experience and lesson in the future. Don't do anything rashly. No, I hesitate to do this. Alright, so how do we separate those nicely so we are not breaking any parts? That's quite sturdy engineering here for 1900 for early 90s. There we go. A bit more. Oh, it's nice. It's very nicely. Oh, or it's not. Works for my favor. Don't want to break any parts. Am I strong enough to break it? Apparently yes. Alright, so we removed one of those. So we don't need to apply the glue on the second one. We fine with one. My big hands barely keep on the empty edge of the part, so I don't lose it somewhere on the ground. I hope not. We're applying glue here and there. No point in the rush things. And we can squeeze those parts so glue pour over them. Squeeze and keep holding for a while. Yeah. Pretty good and sturdy engineering, as I mentioned before. Parts collided very nicely. There's no problem with that. We have arms. And we will be removing seam lines and glue for a painting, probably. Yeah, what else it can be. Here I have the problem. I cut too much on one side of the part, as you can see over there on the lower piece here. Some blemish and some uneven part space. I'll add a little bit of glue and see how it will work. Will it finish? Will it fill the gap? Or it won't? Well, either way I will not do anything for now until it dries out completely. So we can leave this one somewhere around and proceed the second one. Second one is different. Second one is different because it's spatial. It has this attachment for the shield. You probably can switch left arm with right one. There's no big difference, but shield will be always mounted on the one with bag. Alright, so we separate the parts slowly and nicely. No rush at all. Right? I think right. Try to separate with our fingers, with little fingers. So I almost hit 30 minutes time lapse and almost did nothing, which at some point is not a bad thing. At some point it's a little bit disappointing. But it's fine, it's alright. I can live with this small inconvenience. Removing parts or not. Here we go. Still resistant. Amazing. Alright, so basically I did what I wanted to do, and now I will apply some glue here and here. Nothing beats an arm of glue late evening, and we are squeezing parts. Squeezing our parts. Not so strong, not so much applying strength in that, because we don't want to break anything. It's quite old plastic. Or perhaps just a printable model made in some 10 years ago, probably. Maybe not. Alright, so I basically squeezed the knife, and those will be drying out for a while, probably for evening. And we will start working on other parts. The glue is not required for now. I'm placing it here, parts here, this box with parts also here. And we'll proceed with those light gray parts. The light gray parts need a little bit of adjustment, which proceeds later with sandpaper. This one, yeah, not completely hard. Kind enough of that. Almost, but almost. That's still not good enough. As I mentioned, I will have to sand it at some point. So many excess on the plastic edges. Which is a little bit unwelcoming, but still part of the history made by Bandai. Alright, so sending for you later. Polycaps. The polycaps aren't perfect either. There are seam line for polycaps, which is molded, which is very difficult to remove. Sport, where polycap was attached to a gate. Sprue, another one. I don't know, those probably won't be visible, maybe will be visible, I have no idea. So we proceed further. For now we are just abandon those. And we have ugly looking punches, fists. I don't know how to describe those. Just those half shape details are still ugly looking, very ugly. Of course, seam lines and attachment points which are visible to a naked eye from a close checkup. So arm parts here, those are abandoned for a while. We proceed to our legs, which is of course paired with polycaps like that. Remove polycaps first. Inner frame polycaps. That's something. At first glance, model looks quite complicated, but when you start to working on it, it's a very simplified process. Just even too simplified. Polycaps for joints on the ankles. And again, doesn't show anything additional shown on completion of legs. So legs basically must be worked out on purely your imagination again. The hips armor is a wall thing, which is good because there will be no seam line, so no additional work, which is fine. Of course, the articulation because might be a little bit limited, which it doesn't bother me since the model comes with an action base. Don't forget about that, and that is a huge extra plus for old kit like this. Of course, we have to remove armor from the sprue tree gate for lower legs, like that and like this. Here we go, we have it. We almost have it everything except the feet, and feet will proceed later. But for now we'll have to remove some excess from my hips here. That kind of shite happens. Search for it. And I found it. Everything's fine. I found the part. Everything's okay. I'm back. We are going to remove some excess again. Of course, sanding, as I mentioned before I started the video, will be proceeding later. On second part, probably. We have to remove here. We remove that. That's fair enough for now. And we proceed here. We proceed with the armor pieces, and of course, armor pieces. If you're experienced enough, those two won't collide, and you need the opposite parts. Now I'm looking at one problem I specifically am not very pleased with. Those thrusters on the front part, which are obviously are seam-lined in ugly way, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove those ugly looking thrusters. That's right. I have a plenty of thrusters in my possession which I can use. I really do. And I will be replacing those. I have no intentions and no any desire to work seam lines on those parts. So we are getting off the thrusters from the knees. That's right. Thrusters on the knees must go away. Because those are outdated in an ugly way. Remove the excess with a knife as much as possible. Later we just drill a hole in the knee after I sand it down perfectly. Or perfectly, or probably I will have to mount. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. Alright, so I hit the benchmark for today's video and everything goes smoothly so far. So probably we'll proceed another 30 minutes and see how it works out. Mhm. More access like that. Yeah, that's quite nice. That's quite nice and quite enough. We'll be gluing those parts soon, very soon. So those parts go for now here. But first, all right, that happens. That happens. Quite a nice part collision. Collision for old kit. I'll work on that a little bit later. So those parts stay here, and we are proceeding toward those. Let's remove this, and this, I suppose. Alright, and this part is also alright. So we just can over the thrusters from knee on both sides. Like that. We are removing ugliness. We're working towards a beauty way. Beauty. The true beauty. There is also thrusters on the side of the legs armor over here. And I'm not quite sure for now, but I will probably remove those as well. Just not sure enough if I have enough extra thrusters in my possession, which will be checked a little bit later. Oh, we have a glue. We need glue. We're taking a glue in here, and we're going to glue some parts and smell some fumes. No, just kidding. Don't smell anything. But and squeeze it, and nicely glue pours through a seam line. As you can see, it works nicely. Yes, of course. Again, I will point this that you don't have to separate later pieces, so you can straightforward go proceed and glue those between, since those inner frame polycaps goes separately, which is probably a good idea, which is probably not good as well. Of course, the old models don't have a perfect collision, as you can see. Those surfaces are not even. So a lot of sanding coming my way, which, well, not a good thing at all. Yet in a while, I'd like just to build a model without additional extra work like gluing, painting, but also I'd like to see it look nice out of the box, which is a problem, which usually is a huge problem, because out of the box models, most of them are just a plastic toyish looking finishes, which are not what I want. So basically, so far it looks very simple. I just cut pieces, parts, and glue them for now. And when I finish this, I probably will proceed to a other parts as well, but now we are forgotten feet. So here comes the problem with feet. Feet themselves are simple and normal pieces of plastic for some old model kit, but feet of such caliber have one disgusting problem. Those feet are hollow, completely hollow. So no markings, no bottoms, no anything, just hollow plastic pieces, which I do not appreciate at all. I don't like that, but that's the fate of the old models. Most of the no grades from seed lines are the same way in and even worse. This one looks nice. This one is close to a high grade quality, but seed line high grades, no grades. Excuse me, no grades are just ugly piece of lazy work. They have no joints, no extra parts, no color separation, almost, except basic colors, and those feet are always empty. At first glance, it looks nice, but when you turn it over, it's empty. And I have in question a problem to deal with. How to fix this a little inconvenience? Of course, I can add putty, let it dry, and work on details. Or or what kind of options I have more than this one. Or I can make some semi-pla plate, plastic plate bottoms for these feet, which is also option, but of course requires a lot of work again. Alright, so I basically finished legs, lower arms. Lower arms also contains shoulders, which are separate parts from everything, but don't have anything particular and difficult or in completion, just the parts, whole big parts without any extra details on it, and just huge parts, which of course saves a lot of work again, except sanding, except painting, and etc. I'm removing some extra excess plastic excess here and there, like that. I remove this and that. Yes, and that's basically completed hands, legs. Of course, those parts must dry out first. Inner frame goes like that. Presses inside, and as you can see, you see an ugly side of the old joints. Those work, those functional, but those are not pretty looking ones. Alright, so weaponry and backpack. We can complete a backpack actually. I still have a lot, not a lot, but some time. And we can complete a backpack, and I show you how ugly backpack really is for a time being. Because the backpack has the same problem as a upper legs armor, which includes trousers. That's right. We have thruster. For time being, I will glue up both parts and will look forward. I'm not sure if I have such a big thrusters in the first place, so those will be not removed for time being. But the ugly part of this backpack is that if you decide to leave original thrusters on the backpack, you will have a problem to sending everything all over perfectly, because there's a lot of spaces which are hard to access. Yeah, those are tricky ones. Right, so where's the glue? We glue this bad guy. I'll take the glue and we glue in this step. Like that. Like this. Like this. Should we proceed further and do some extra building tonight? I think not. I think I will stop for now. And all I do next time, I'll actually proceed towards a body unit. The body unit will be one of the interesting and exciting moments. But for now, yeah, I think I'll call it a day for now. And wait for opportunity to make another video. So stay safe. Peace.